What's up, gang? Chase Highley, CEO of Greenstone Media. Some of you may know me from marketing, some of you may not know me at all. Well, if not, hello world. Running your own business and being an entrepreneur can be so challenging. Sometimes it feels like all of the agents from Spectre are out to get you. They'll hit you from all sorts of different ways. Well, what we need to solve this problem is we need James Bond. And on today's show, we have our guest, Gentry. Duane Gentry.
Activate Operation Extreme Service. During the hot summer months, the need is air. Cool air. Our highly trained agents are certified HVAC professionals.
Let's go get Duane. Come on.
Hey Chase.
Mr. Gentry.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm excited to have you on the show today.
Great.
We've got a sweet ride. I think you're going to really enjoy it. It's all Bond themed. On top of that, are you ready to go crush it?
I'm ready to crush it. Let's
All
get
right,
her done.
Let's go.
Power, beauty, and soul. This is a 2006 Aston Martin Vantage in Gunmetal Grey with dual overhead camshaft, 32 valve V8, aluminum block and heads, port fuel injection with a 6-speed manual transmission. What does that even mean? That means this car will take you 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4.8 seconds with a top speed of 175 miles per hour, packing 380 horsepower. If it was fast enough for James Bond for when he needed to save the world, it's fast enough for our first guest on the show. This Aston Martin named Skyfall is smart, sleek, sexy, and distinguished enough for any occasion, even if it's snowing. In entrepreneurship, we are also out to save the world.
What's your favorite car you've ever driven?
Jaguar XKRS.
Oh
That I
yeah.
had. 600 horsepower car, beautiful, sounded awesome, and it was just the handling of it. It was almost like you could barely just feel any G-force or anything. I mean, it just hugged the curves. It was a beautiful car. We'll just go down Tunnel Road, take a left, and go out that way, go out Hendersonville Road. You'll see that cop watching you, didn't you? Yeah.
Duane, why is stretching important?
Oh gosh. So when you're my age, you don't hurt yourself, right? Well, probably any age. Well, I don't know if it's going to be our favorite. We're going to do chest today.
Chest day.
That's what we're going to do, chest, right?
Right.
I've been saving up for it all week.
So Duane, tell me, why did you become an entrepreneur? How did you become one?
So I worked in the financial world for about 9 or 10 years. I saw a lot of guys getting into their 60s and, you know, they had done well, they were successful financially, et cetera, but they just seemed tired and, you know, kind of like they didn't have a whole lot of purpose, you know, in their life, and that, you know, they'd been working for the man, you know, their whole career.
Yeah.
You know, I got tired of that whole corporate thing, and I thought, you know, I think I can do this. I think I can do better by myself. I was thinking about this the other day. I can remember my dad told me one time, you know, he said, son, you only know what you're worth when you work for yourself. You know, because you don't have anything propping you up. It's just, you know, it's just you. So that was kind of the nemesis that caused me to go ahead and sort of just take that leap of faith and give it a shot. Gentry's a you know, full service heating and air conditioning company. We do maintenance, repair, and new installations for homes, businesses, factories, industry. My dad started the business in 1963, but I bought it from him in 1998.
Okay.
And so I ran the company from 98 to 2018. when I sold the business.
So where were you guys at revenue-wise when you bought the business, and then where were you at when you sold the business?
So I remember he did $563,000 in 1996, and I came to work in 1997. And I think we did that first year, we did like almost $1 million that first year when I came in. You know, it's two heads better than one, that kind of a thing. And when I left, we were pushing about 20 million in revenue when I sold the company.
So as a CEO, you grew from 1 million to
About
20 million.
20x, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Want to come be the CEO at Greenstone?
No.
What were some of the first challenges you had to overcome at the beginning of your journey as an entrepreneur?
Realizing that I couldn't always be the smartest guy in the room. You know, so many times when you are running a business, you're trying to grow a business, you feel like you've got to be the expert at everything. You know, that you've got to be the one that can do everything, knows how to do everything, and knows everything about everything. And so, you know, learning to A, realize that I can't be that, B, find great people with great skill sets, and then focus my effort on building those people and supporting those people so that they can win, and then that allows me to win and the business to win. You know, so that was, you know, that was one major challenge. And the other challenge is learning to have balance. Learn how to have balance in my life. You know, when you're growing a business, you know, the first thing you want to do is work 70, 80 hours a week, do everything you can to kind of keep that business going. But, you know, realizing that you have to have balance and make sure you're taking care of your family, you're taking care of your body, you're taking care of your health, and you're taking care of your spiritual life, you know, as well. Otherwise, that 70 hours a week that you're working is less productive. It's frustrating, you know, it's caused a lot of stress. When I was able to, realizing I couldn't be the smartest guy in the room all the time, I remember hiring the first guy that I knew was 10 times smarter than me. I hired him to run the commercial side of my business, and I really was hesitant because I knew he was so much smarter than me, and he had been in the business much longer than me. So it was a real, you know, pride thing for me to be able to step back and then let him do his thing. But man, wow, when he did that, I mean, it took so much off me, and the business just was able to proliferate because I could focus my talents on things that I was good at. He would focus on, you know, what he was good at.
As an entrepreneur, I hear a lot of us, we struggle with extreme highs and extreme lows.
Yeah.
And I've heard this thing called failing forward. How do you recommend for entrepreneurs how to fail forward in a way that helps you grow?
Number one, you got to realize you're gonna fail. I mean, it's not always going to be highs. If you're in any kind of business, or doesn't even have to be a business, but anything you're passionate about, if you're giving it everything you got, you're going to make some mistakes. So you got to realize that. My dad always said that if you don't make any mistakes, you're not doing a whole lot. You know what I mean? So I think for me, you know, the concept of failing forward or learning from your mistakes and growing really has to do with the people that you surround yourself with. You know, and so I say, you know, make sure you have a good group of people around you, inside your organization and outside your organization, and make sure it's people that'll tell you the truth.
So Duane, tell me a little bit, how do you recommend for getting yourself healthy and your business healthy so both you and the business will thrive?
You formulate a plan. You know, I mean, if you don't have a plan, you're going to plan to fail, right? So make sure you have a good plan. I recommend writing it down, you know, document that plan, make sure you have a plan in place. And that could go for your home, you know, for your home financial goals or whatever you're trying to do at home, but also definitely in your business, you want to do that. And then this is the hardest part for a lot of entrepreneurs. And I see it all the time with younger guys that I work with, is stick to the plan, you know? You know? Don't get bored. Oftentimes, as entrepreneurs, you know, we're all over the place. We don't think like, you know, the average bear. You know, we're often very creative, and just we get bored with one thing, and we're ready to move on to the next thing. But stick to that plan, and don't vary from it. Don't start something else. Before we get one problem solved, we start working on some new opportunity. That's the recipe for disaster. make a decision, get the people around you that you need to make something happen, formulate a plan, make sure you write it down, and then stick to it.
Why do you recommend writing your plan instead of just keeping it in your head?
Well, number one, you want to write it down, Chase, because number one, your plan can't just be you executing it. You've got to have your team around you. When you write it down, you're making sure everybody's singing off the same song sheet.
So Duane, do you have a routine for starting your day and ending your day?
I get up early. I'm an early riser, so I'm normally up between 5 and 5:30 in the morning.
Okay.
I start my day out, first of all, with a big glass of water and my energy drink. Get that out of the fridge, and then I go, have some prayer time, read my Bible, spend a little time in prayer. I may do a little journaling. Then I head off to the gym.
Okay.
So I hit the gym first thing in the morning, probably 5 days a week in the gym, and then the other 2 days in the mornings, especially if it's warmer weather, I'll get out and do a little jogging or power walking or something to just get get my juices flowing, get the blood going. And then, of course, off to work you go. And then in the evenings, come home, and before I, start settling in for supper or whatever like that, I try to get a little bit more cardio in the afternoons, kind of recharge me a little bit for the evening. Then dinner and, a little time with my wife and my dogs, and before I go to bed, I usually do a little reading, in the evenings. It's funny how a lot of times I will do an inventory at the end of the day, and I'll say, okay, what were my wins for the day? And so if you have a routine, for me, it helps me have focus, and then if I have a routine of things that I know I can get done, like my prayer time, like my workout, that's a win for me. You know what I mean? I can check that off my list and say, okay, I've got a win already, Before I even go to work, I've already had 2 wins.
What were the marketing strategies you implemented that really you saw the most revenue growth from? And then as you needed to scale and grow more, what strategies did you use differently then?
But in the beginning, I made a lot of mistakes. I made the mistakes of doing advertising that just stroked my ego, more about what a great building we had, what all the trucks we had, and maybe about what a great manager I was, et cetera, et cetera. What we ended up with that is still working today is it was a soup of things that we use. So it wasn't just one thing, it was a combination of things. And so we use, and still today use, outdoor advertising, like billboards, digital billboards, placard billboards, things of that nature. And along with radio, combined is often a good thing, believe it or not. And then in addition to that, we use some television ads on cable because it's a little more surgical than like the local station. Our biggest spend has always been on internet marketing, making sure we had the top quality website that really worked for us and that really put our message out there and how we could serve the public. And then also making sure that you spent the right money in the right places for organic marketing, pay-per-click, Google ads, all those different things that are, available to folks now. And that by far was has been the biggest impact. And so now we focus on the digital marketing, but all of the ancillary marketing we do is really directing people towards our website. So, the billboards, if you'll notice on our billboards, it doesn't have our logo on our billboards. It only has our website. Ads, YouTube, anything like that always has the website on it, directing to, same thing with TV. Generally, it's going to have, we're going to be promoting the website. One of the things we've been really careful to do over the years at Gentry is make sure that we were building the culture, of course, from the beginning, but also operationally, we were prepared for the advertising that's coming in because, think about it. You're spending, a couple $100,000, or I think Gentry spends well more than that now on advertising a year, and all these leads start coming in, all these sales starts coming in, but if you don't have the team prepared and able to meet the needs, you're just burning C notes in the parking lot. Mm-hmm.
That's how you get a lot of negative customer reviews.
That's right.
With the marketing and advertising, that you always try to make sure it was directed to the website, like from billboards, all the different ads. Why did you want it going to the website?
Because, you know, with most other advertising, it's a glimpse. It's, you know, they talk about impressions, right? You know, we wanted to get those impressions because in our business, you know, people don't drive down the road, see a billboard and think, oh my goodness, let me buy a new heat pump. You know, they don't. So, because it's usually needs-based. Something breaks, thermostat doesn't work anymore, let's call somebody. Well, we wanted to have a lot of that branding stuff out there, like the billboard, like the TV, like the radio, so that when the need arose, we were top of mind. But what we wanted to do is we wanted them to go to our website so that on the website we could show that differentiation, because then you have more time to explain. These are the things that we do that are different from our competitors. Here's what we can bring, you know, here's what we can bring to you and bring the value to you. It's hard to convey that in a 30-second TV commercial.
They have a website that works. There are 5 must-have components in a website that works, and Duane just hit on a couple of them, showing reviews, so that way when a customer comes to the website, they see that this isn't your first rodeo. You've helped customers just like them get their problem solved. You solve a problem, you got a business.
Yeah.
And your marketing and your messaging should always be about how you solve your customer's problem, not about how great you are.
That's
It's
right.
kind of like going on a date.
That's
And
right.
if you go on a date and all you do is brag about how great you are, do you think you're gonna have a second date?
Probably not.
Tell me how you built culture at Gentry Heating and Air, where people just absolutely love working there, and they all work together to accomplish the mission at Gentry Heating and Air.
We developed a really robust mission statement. You know, this is what, you know, our vision is of what the company, you know, should look like. And then associated with that, we developed a set of core values. And those core values are more than just something we wrote down on a piece of paper and made it look all pretty and put it up on the wall and forgot about it. It was, you know, in every single meeting, we would talk about those. Every single training, we would talk about core values. We wanted to create a culture that was more than about just the company being successful and making money. We wanted our people to thrive, not just at work and in their career, but also in their home life. So we started a thing where monthly we would have different seminars or different things for our employees, like things like, you know, how to build a budget. And, you know, we're not perfect, but nothing is. But, you know, I'm very proud of what the company's been able to do.
Duane, you mentioned something earlier I think will help a lot of entrepreneurs build a great business for a greater purpose, and it was called C12.
Yeah.
How did you hear about C12 and why did you join?
2008 and 2009 were terrible for anybody that was in any construction related field. When that housing market crashed and then the market in general crashed, you know, we were in a bad spot. And so we went through about 3 years there of just negative P&L and racking up debt, and it just really had gotten scary. And this guy just calls me up, you know, out of the blue. Bill had moved to Asheville and he had been a former entrepreneur and was in semi-retirement and wanted to start a group called C12, which was a Christian CEO and business group. And he invited me to lunch one day. And I met with him for lunch, and he gave me his spiel, and I said, well, you know, this might be really what I need, what I'm looking for. And so it's funny, so I came home and I told my wife, I said, hey, I'm going to join this group C12, and it's going to cost, I can't remember how much it was, it's going to cost me $700 a month. And she said, you did what? She's like, we can hardly pay the payroll. What do you mean you're going to pay $700 a month? I said, no, I think it's the right thing. Well, fast forward a year, she was like, that was one of the best investments, you know, that we ever made. And so C12, in addition to just really teaching me and helping me, you know, actualize some really great business practices, you know, best practices within business, but also helped me learn how to create a great culture in my business and how to use my business as a ministry to the community. And all three of those things have been home runs, you know, for our company.
I think we've got to Carly get you back to the house pretty quick.
I have a feeling it will.
I've really enjoyed crushing it with you.
Yeah, man.
We're going to help a lot of entrepreneurs live and enjoy a better
Well,
story.
I hope so.